And so Anas sued in America. And in Ghanaian courts, when Anas first sued in Ghanaian courts, hold on, there's a reason why I'm doing this, yes. When Anas first sued in Ghanaian courts, he appeared in court like this. And the judge said, wait a minute. You can't come to a court and cover your face. When you have brought the legal action here, an action in defamation, and you are covering your face, you don't want to be seen, I'm not going to take that from you. Giddy, 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 giddy. And then the supporters of Anas said, oh, the courts in Ghana don't like Anas because he was the one who exposed them under Georgina Wood and said that they are collecting Bayere and Aponchi and things like that. That's what Anas supporters said. We all looked at it. Anas lost the case. Then Anas goes to sue in America. Can you imagine? And then America says exactly the same thing that the Ghanaian court said. Hey, Baba, you can't come to this court and cover your face. Oh, and then, who is doing this? Please, I'm sorry, let me get to the other one. Please. Oh, the Ghanaian court said, Baba, you can't cover your face. Oh. Then he says, oh, I can't cover my face. I said, no, you can't. Then he shows a face. People are arguing on social media whether it's him, it's not him. I don't know. But he shows a face with spectacles, eyes, everything, nose, everything. He shows it. In an American court. Now the question to ask is that why did Anas refuse to show his face in Ghana, but in America he agrees to show his face? Is it disrespect for the Ghanaian judicial authority? Or what is it? Why do we do that to ourselves? Black man. Why do we do that to ourselves? Black judge says remove your face. I won't remove it. White judge says remove your face. Yes, sir, I remove. Really? Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Mental slavery. You see a black judge. He says the rule of court is that remove your face. You say, no, I won't do it. I will never remove my face. A wise judge says remove your face. You gladly do it. Really? Let's get to the facts.
Ebusua yebekọ nsem no so what you say po Adom-Otchere nsem ne yebekọ ni nyina so na meka wo say ha PhD TV and then first time about channel so mesere bo modern subscribe channel no efma me aha de Ghana amanyosema etwego hot political update, entertainment news and sports update sanso na nsema hodo efa ye papa honorable Kennedy akompre ko ina Japan ho nyina obetini nyina e platform we as what you say the man of the moment nyame asiesie no edna mo my Ghana no matter the intimidation, no matter the hate fa ho ne ka tese nnyoma nkofo be ka fa ne ho boa wo ye den la yame ehira no an yame ehira wa no ehira obia ntumi ensesa no debi yala ebusu edi amejeso no ankrato tibi obehun bi obeka ankrato mebo modern na majoso kama Paul Adom-Otchere akasa nti Paul echire ni nsemu osese wo minu mienu na mahu an black man adwene okopie mo Ghana court o se wo you max because o sense na wonyonko black judge no ba okopie mo white for no hode ya white judge dia o se yane o kan ya na mpacho meyi enti Paul Adom-Otchere ene eja ne lawyer o mabawura nsem man kasa yie o mu chiemu a nsem ne de oboa court na nkasa mpo no judge no asem o de share ye jury no o de ma o mo so o mo hwe no mo ye hu adwuma no o mo no o mabumra no so nti betuma ba se case no e gbogbo egu na ya start no for kula nti ono de so ma mo no tua aha nti de ye come try no ebio anasa re announce na nkasa no wasan so akọ eye BBC akọ publish eye fake news asema yen kan ye enwie ye na wa start na wo publish kire se court di ama mi hwai asem ne yen kan wie ye ona ne kire se akoi onko asore nti o kire Paul Adom-Otchere lawyer ne kire mu a in fact honorable Kennedy akompre ko in Japan lawyers assign edi eya nas a case na wasa publish fake no our bright court enga say no mo de akoma eye court no say adea anas no all you new inti nsam no de afi na ebe wuro man ka say yentie Paul Adom-Otchere ene ne lawyer.
When is murder like in Ghana, yes, whether he killed or he didn't kill, you don't need too much legal finesse to be able to determine that Kofi Mensah was the one who used the knife to choke this one. But this is whether a statement is made defamatory, whether it's made with malice. It requires a bit of...
So they would often glean it from the facts, the surrounding circumstances, how the conduct of the parties have been, and then make the determination as to whether or not.
So the judge instructed them to do these 2 things. Then what did they do?
3 things actually.
Okay.
So first, determine whether statements were defamatory. 2, determine whether they were made with malice. Malice is Adom-Otchere.
That you intended to.
You intended. I want to mafia you.
Yeah.
And then 3, make a determination as to damages and whether punitive damages should be paid. Not the amount of punitive damages. Whether punitive damages.
What is damages as distinguished from punitive damages?
So if I offend you, I do something bad to you, and because of that you are stressed, you've come to court, you are worried. At the end of the day, you win the case. I'm supposed to give you some amount of money to sort of appease you.
Compensate,
sort of. So it's damages. Punitive damages is the court looks at my conduct and says, you are Preku, you've been very malicious, you've been very wicked. So I want it to hurt you. And so I would add extra costs in addition to just me paying you, making you comfortable. I would also add costs that makes me suffer to show that I cannot take advantage of people. So it's a punishment. It's not just me appeasing the person.
Okay. So then what happened after that? So the jury were told that don't add punitive damages. Is that what they were told?
The jury were told to determine whether or not punitive damages should be paid, not the amount of punitive damages.
Or whether punitive damage should be paid. So that is the malice thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So it feeds from the malice.
Okay.
And then at a later sitting, they would determine whether or not, or they will determine the amount of punitive damages to be paid if the jury indeed found that punitive damages should be paid.
Who will determine the amount? The judge?
It will hinge on the further instructions given to the jury at that sitting.
Or it will go back to the jury
at that sitting.
Okay, so then the jury came back with an award of $18 million in favor of Anas.
Yes.
Then what happened?
At this time, we didn't know. They just said 18 million. So the court assumed that 18 million is the damages I was talking about earlier, the general damages that I'm just compensating you. So now the judge now goes further to ask, okay, on the issue of punitive damages, how far? Then the jury says that, oh, the punitive damages, we added it to the 18 million. Oh. So we've already determined the punitive damage.
Okay.
So now the judge comes again and said, no, my instructions to you was to determine whether or not punitive damages should be paid and not the amount of punitive damages that have to be paid. So once instructions are given to juries and it becomes apparent that juries did not comply with the instruction, then you can go on appeal, you can bring an application to dismiss the verdicts, and there are other remedies. So in this instance, Kennedy Agyapong's lawyers raised an objection and applied. There was an application for a mistrial, which ruling would come at a later date.
30 days from now.
30 days, yes. In fact, they have submitted both their written arguments, what in Ghana would call statements of case. So the statement of case, Kennedy Agyapong's lawyers are going to write that the judge instructed the jury to do A, B, and C,
and they did something else.
Therefore,
what are Anas lawyers going to say?
I
mean, they will have to back the jury, isn't it?
Yes, they would have to back the jury.
So they have to find a way.
Yes, they may make an argument that in any case it is substance over form, and so if the jury has found it's prudent to at that stage award damages, then it will be superfluous for the judge to go back and backtrack everything.
I've been told that the 3 possible outcomes are that the judge may uphold the mistrial,
yes,
and begin the trial afresh,
yes,
and in that case select a new jury,
yes,
or the judge may cure the jury's errors and pronounce a verdict very similar to what the jury have said, but it may be different in terms of reduced damages,
variation.
Okay, in that case, will an appeal lie at the Court of Appeal in the American judicial system? Is there an appeal line from the Court of Appeal?
Most likely, because the reason there is a rationale behind giving a judge a sort of relative control over what the jury can do or the jury cannot do. And so a flagrant disregard in that, or a purported flagrant disregard in that respect, is problematic.
So can you win on the jury and lose at the appeal? Like we know O.J. Simpson.
Yes, yes.
You win at the jury.
Yes,
they award you agree with 10 million.
You go.
Court of Appeal says no
because there are no jury. There's no jury.
It's just 3 judges who are going to. Is American Appeal 3 judges? Like
3 judges.
Like common law appeal.
Yes, and then Supreme is 9. They sit all.
But there's another matter coming up where Kennedy Agyapong's lawyers, speaking to them this afternoon, they told me that they are filing something else. They are filing a process against Anas for Anas publishing what is happening in court and misleading the world,
Yes.
including the BBC and all of that. Is that a defamatory suit or is it contempt?
I think it would lie more in contempt. The reason being that many of us or many people often make the mistake that contempt or a proceeding ends at when the judge pronounces judgments. That is so, but that is not fully so. Because after a judge has given or pronounced judgments, after the jury has given a verdict, there are extra procedures that may take place. So, for instance, someone kills somebody, he's found guilty.
At the High Court level.
At the High Court level. We can fix another sitting for sentencing, right? If you go out and you make certain statements, that brings the administration of justice into disrepute. You can still be found for contempt.
But if the jury has given him 18 million, he goes to tell the BBC that I've won 18 million. And I understand that his lawyers have told Anas that he shouldn't have done that.
Yes, because the matter is still pending. So technically, you really don't have the 18 million yet.
Okay, let's not get ourselves into contempt on our own motion. We'll leave it here, viewers. But the big conversation is that Anas decided to open his face in America, but in Ghana, he says that his face is not openable.